Oi, bruv, are you enjoying the Peaky Blinders in it, mate? Because they are coming to the Battle Pass special. And this is about it when it comes to me doing a stupid accent, which I can't really do. I don't know, if you enjoy the Peaky Blinders, there you go. They get a French tank, even though they are British. So, you tell me, guys. You tell me how this makes sense. What doesn't really make sense is what I should think about the Char Murat. Because, my god, when this tank first came out and I saw the stats, I was like, damn, that will look like a lot of fun. 3-shot autoloader, 1170 burst damage in 5 seconds because it has 3 rounds with 390 alpha each, 2.5 second interclip. With decent gun handling, good mobility, 12 degrees of gun depression, and it looks kinda cool, let's be honest. And obviously Wargaming decided for themselves, you know what, let's nerf the gun handling to a point where I'm just like, I need potentially another aspirin, you know, like this one which you probably can't see because green screen. And it's just a headache. It's just a headache. When I've played this tank, I've tried to play it like the youuuu 03 alt 3 because let's be honest, they are very, very similar when it comes to the stats. Both are 3-shot autoloaders. Both are being played in the second line because they have somewhat accurate guns. Both are this burst type of potential. Both are fairly similarly speedy. And I also have to say, in my first review, youuuu 03 alt 3 wasn't really my cup of tea. But while I've played it a little bit more, I've started to notice that yes, it has potential. And now I am genuinely enjoying the youuuu 03 alt 3. The thing is, however, you know, when you already have the youuuu and when you already have the Char 4, there is no real point in getting the Char Murat. Because the Char 4 is more unique and plays solo, or it plays just that much more different and it just very suits my style. Surely, the Char Murat is a premium on tier 9, so keep that in mind. So it makes a little bit more cash than other tanks like the Char 4. The same goes for the youuuu 03 alt 3. So there's that. If you again have it already, I personally think there's no real point getting it. The Char Murat does so many things almost correct while still not doing them properly, you know. It has 5-second long reload time, which in the grand scheme of things is not really a big deal. But what is a big deal is the fact that it has a longer aim time while having a shorter clip time. Luckily, the field modification which exists kind of negates this. But still, it also is more inaccurate during aiming, like it has less dispersion. And it has a much worse gun handling during movement and turret traverse. And you notice this because not only do you aim in longer at the base, meaning that if you go into the position, stop and want to shoot, you have longer engagement time. It also means that very often you just miss shots when you try to snipe with this vehicle. So you are a little bit in this predicament, like what am I supposed to do with this tank? You can't really snipe because the gun is not really accurate enough. So you have to play it decently aggressive, but that's not a good idea because what happens, you get ammo wrecked, you get burned, you get penned by RD or a T49, and you are straight not having a great time. So yeah, I'm sitting here thinking what I should tell you. You have the opportunity to grind out the tank for 3,500 gold. But again, you have to grind out the special chapter in a very short time frame. And if you're able to do that, I believe that for 3,500 gold, go for it. That is a great price for a premium. Regardless if it is mediocre. If it's bad, then it's still kind of waste of money, you know, like a K91 too, but beside the point. For 3,500 gold, if you know you're able to get this tank, that's fine. It totally works, it's okay. Good on you. But if you have to invest more gold to actually get this tank, I don't know. I feel like that is a wasted opportunity. It feels a little bit like the Felice. And I believe if you look at skill for LTU, he also doesn't really have a lot of fun playing that tank. I believe the Char Murat is not as bad as the Felice, but it will still result in a lot of frustrating opportunities, possibilities, and just straight out not having good games of it. I personally am right now playing this tank around, I think it was 600 DPM less than the youuuu 03. Yes, I did play less games on the Char Murat than the youuuu, but it also kind of showcases that even usually if you have smaller amount of games, like obviously you're able to kind of say, okay, you have a good game, so it's inflated, and if you have bad games, it's pushed down. But even though I didn't really had a good time in this tank, I still didn't really saw opportunities where I would be able to perform in the tank better. Because again, it also has 12 degrees of ground depression, which is insanely good. And it is a genuinely big bonus point compared to the youuuu, because the youuuu has the wobble mechanic, meaning you have to engage it first to get 13 degrees of gun depression. Otherwise, you only have 7, and that can lead to missed opportunities and lost shots. And yes, the youuuu only has 360 alpha, meaning that the Char Murat does hit harder. But you know, it's a little bit same with the Sharpshooter 4. I enjoy the Sharpshooter 4's 4-second reload time because it allows me to not only aim fully through, it also allows me to just think a little bit more what I want to do next. It allows you more thinking time. And the youuuu 03 has this as well. You have a little bit more thinking time, and you need to think, okay, I need to get these 6 seconds to clip somebody. The Char Murat is a little bit an oddity in that regard with the 5-second. Because it kind of allows you to think, you know what, I can play it a little bit more aggressively. And if you do that, you have to play very, very carefully. Because it is also huge. Obviously, it's huge. And yes, the modules are everywhere. Speaking of huge, it also sadly does not have any armor. So I quickly want to showcase this to you. It has 70mm in the front, and you can see it can actually bounce some stuff because of auto bounce angles. These are 35mm armor plates, but you can also see that they can bounce into the turret and then pen. The sides are 40 and 30, meaning in the lower side you can auto pen as well. The side of the turret is 50 to 60mm depending where you hit, so even an HE slinger can pen you there. Your ammo rack is in the front, your fuel tanks are, I think, also partially in the front, because obviously they are, and the engine is massive, and it is a big chunker, so I don't know, it just feels meh. It really feels meh. Maybe it's my personal opinion where I was like, damn, this tank looks cool, it looks great, it looks unique. I want it to be good. And because I wanted it to be good, I am more let down by the tank not being good. Like, the DPM being slightly worse, that is something we can gloss over. Because again, you do more damage. You do almost 100 damage more in 1 second less. But aim time, 0.4 seconds worse. Accuracy, worse. On the move accuracy, please kill me. That is so much worse. Turret is at least better. Yes, the mobility is better, but on paper, in the end, it feels very similar. These 5 kph don't make a big difference. I have to be completely honest. And this right here is so frustrating. 4% camo less. That is rough. That really hurts. And that is why I personally can't really recommend the Char Murat. Maybe I'm wrong. Please go watch other CCs to see what they thought about it. But I personally didn't have a great time. Again, youuuu 03, 53 games, 3,250 damage on my main account. And the Char Murat is sitting right now at 6 games, 16% win rate, and 2,600 damage. I simply am not having a great time of it. Thank you so much for watching. My name is RagingRaptor, and I wish you a day. Cheers, and I see you around.